Well, sometimes you get the CLG, and other times the CLG gets you. This is Flight Check Season 1, Episode 20. I am Sandy Toes. Alongside me are my partners in Cry, Nox War, and Curly Double Q. Fellas, oof. Oof is really all I've got to say.
I'm inclined to agree with you on that.
Big same, right? It's a toughie. Well, the FlyQuest LCS season is over. The 1-2 curse hits us for a final time this season.
One last
time, it claims another victim and another soul.
This wasn't the way I was expecting it to.
Yeah, and possibly in the worst fashion possible. I have to bring it up that, for the most part, the three of us all predicted that we were going to lose to Immortals and beat CLG.
We did.
And beat Golden Guardians. And in fact, the complete inverse happened. So now y'all know where not to go for any future LCS predictions.
Yep. No idea.
Nox, I know you were out on a yacht, a lake? Where were you yesterday? You were escaping the pain. That's all I know.
Avoiding all of what was to come. I was acting cocky in the Discord. I said we already had it. I didn't need to watch. And in reality, I was just avoiding the pain that was to come.
So it's your fault then that we lost. Clearly.
But no, wait, hold on. No. That's not what I said.
That was the win condition.
No. Because clearly, the years past, or this past year, has shown that even though when I'm present, we still lose games.
Fair. Curly, I know you were able to watch the game. I mean, I don't know if it was similar to how it was for me for you, but I just was watching that with an ever-growing sense of dread and despair. How was that for you?
Well, I had to watch it like 2 times because yesterday while it was on, I was cooking.
Oh, I was cooking while we were playing it too. Huh.
Unfortunately, I'm just moved into my place, so like I don't have everything conveniently together like you. So I couldn't watch it like all. I could tune in moments, but
right.
So I had to watch it today just before the podcast, and watching it happen in double speed kind of hurt.
Yeah. It's just like you think, oh, the pain will go by 2 times faster, but no, it's just 2 times the pain instead.
It is. I don't know, man. Like, I can't really describe how things went wrong.
Yeah.
Because on paper, I don't think it should have.
Yeah. Well, if this is your first time seeing the show, or if it's your first time seeing the show for a while, or your first time listening to us, we are Flight Check. We are a FlyQuest fan podcast. We are not professional analysts. Most of the time, we really have no clue what we're talking about. But we are fans who have opinions, and we would like to think that our opinions are better than anything you could get off of Reddit or even Twitter. So we're here to discuss those thoughts and provide a little community content discussion for any fellow FlyQuesters out there.
Case in point, we thought CLG was bad, and then just put us in the butt.
Yeah, case in point, I trashed CLG for an entire year, and it came back to bite us.
I mean, it makes sense.
I mean, it's
you're like that.
Absolutely. If you are listening to the show on Twitch right now, and you're going to have to leave at some point, you can catch the rest of the show either on VOD, on our YouTube channel, or on any of your favorite audio podcasting platforms. We're on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, all the usual places. And if you're listening to this audio version, we do this podcast live on Twitch, twitch.tv/FlightCheckCrew. Every Monday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Give us a quick follow on Twitter @FlightCheckCrew, and hit up our Discord. It's a small but steadily growing group of dedicated FlyQuest fans. The link should be somewhere in the channel chat right now. But let's get into it. So, a weekend that kind of reversed what expectations were, right? Knox, I know you were pretty sold on losing to Immortals, and also pretty sold on beating Golden Guardians in CLG. Now I know you haven't had time to watch the CLG game, so I'll go to Curly in a minute for that one. But I mean, just give me your thoughts on Golden Guardians and Immortals, and we'll hit this kind of quick. We're not going to dwell too much on our transgressions, if you will.
So my initial thoughts heading into the Golden Guardians match were, I just really thought that we could handle them. I don't know. We had Palafox back in, which I thought he could handle a Blaze Olive. We had Jose Dioto back in, and it was replacing a NXI who, in my opinion, I know a lot of the 100 Talk people that watching or listening to this right now will disagree with me, but I honestly thought he was super weak on our team. I'm gonna get burned at the stake for that one later, but he was probably the worst member on the team the past couple weeks. So I was like really actually looking forward to this match because Jose Dioto was coming in, and he was, and in my opinion, an improvement over what NXI had been showing. So I thought, especially with Iconic, who's probably one of the bottom end junglers of the LCS, that should be our main issue taken care of, and it's going to be great to go on top of another jungler who's not even looking that great. The only issue I really had was Licorice. Licorice is what made me nervous, and if I remember right, Licorice, while good that game, wasn't even really the main issue. So that was what really killed me about that game, and I had a sinking, terrible feeling after that game was done. Granted, the FlyQuest managed to prolong it a little bit with the Immortals match. I don't know what's going on with the Immortals, but they have not looked good this weekend. I thought they were looking a little bit better than they were coming into this weekend. So I got completely reversed on my predictions, and I don't know what to say outside of I'm just still crying.
Yeah, it's rough. Give me your thoughts. I got to pull up this draft real fast, and now Leaguepedia isn't as easy for me to navigate now that the playoffs are here. Picks and bans. There we go. Okay, this was the
Palafox on Galio, I know that much.
Yeah, the Ziggs Tom Kench bot lane with Galio in the mid lane, and I remember the desk actively frustrated with this draft. And I was too. I mean, we've seen some lack of just, playmaking with the new Tom Kench on support. Any team that's trying to take it right now, struggling. It's not the powerhouse support that it used to be. Mid or top lane, maybe a different story. But yeah, I just did not like this draft. I liked the Camille, liked it a lot. But the mid lane Galio, the Ziggs bot lane, those were just picks that I did not like. So
more than anything for me, what killed me is you have a mid laner in Palafox who's repeatedly over the course of this year shown that he struggles on anything that isn't some form of aggressive champion or some form of assassin, right? And then 2 out of the 3 games, you proceed to stick him on a tank and a control mage, who he has shown that he's not great on.
Yeah, Galio does not scream aggressive champion to me. Curly, I mean, we know Palafox, right? We've seen him play for the majority of the season. Yeah, these picks, just like, not what I mean, and then we saw what he did on the Yone versus Immortals. It was so much better. I mean, why? That's my question to you. Why, Curly? Why?
Why? I wish I could tell you why. I wish I could tell you why we bothered, like anyone in the LCS bothers giving mid laners anything besides carries. You should not give mid laners non-carries unless they are extremely good at like being supports or whatever, like whatever you're putting them on.
Yeah.
Because like having your mid lane on a carry, it's just better. It's a better composition. They can roam. They can do a bunch of things. So why would you put one of your potentially most active players on something where he just kind of sits there and walks around with wings behind him and then sometimes gives his friends a shield?
Yeah. Yeah, it was just a frustrating draft, and yeah, I feel like Inero really five-headed that draft. The Syndra bot, the Trist. I mean, Stixay looked so good on the Syndra. Hit a lot of stuns. Yeah, just frustrating. Frustrating game to watch. And it was weird because then the Immortals match, we looked so much better. We looked aggressive.
It looked excellent.
We looked really good. Yeah, again, the Yone pick was, I loved that. That was a fantastic pick in my opinion. We got Kumo on the Renekton. The Diamond's Rel, by the way, this weekend, even in the CLG game, he had some fantastic engages. This is a champ he really shines on. So the Ashe Rel was really good. This was the kind of draft I would have loved to have seen us go with against CLG. I mean, the Diana, the Yone. It's just like, man. Just.
I don't really have much issue with our CLG draft. Like, the only thing I would switch out would probably be, like, whatever we gave Palafox. I would have
The Syndra, yeah.
Silas was wide open. I would have given him Silas in a heartbeat. Granted, not as many good ults for him to take.
Well,
but, like...
Yeah, I mean, the Elise has no ult. Renekton would have been decent. And then there was also the Echo and the Ezreal. So the Echo ult might actually have
The Echo ult would have been excellent.
But you have to think, because they picked the Echo last, right? So they probably would have gone with something else. And then that just gets into draft mind games. But I would assume if we took Silas, second pick, they would, or first pick, they would not be taking the Echo into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was a weekend. And I want to put the question to you guys. We swapped out the roster this week, right? We made another change. We went from the previous Academy roster, and this week benched NXI and Triple again, sent them back to Academy, brought back in Jose Deodo and Palafox. Now, the analyst desk had some discussions about this, and I felt like they made some good points, which were that you do lose a little bit of that synergy from the team and some of that aggressiveness. Because Jose and Palafox were on a roster that was not known for that aggression, that was not known for being able to make proactive plays, and whatnot. So was this the right move to make a change final week? Nox, I know you had a tweet about this, where you were not quite predicting doom, but maybe predicting some unsurety, So, I mean, now that we have it in hindsight, how do you feel about the move?
So my thought process for me is, I think the actual mid-jungle duo of Palafox and Jose Deodo are better than Triple and NXI, right? Mm-hmm. Part of the problem with that is also you're taking away the synergy that is Academy/promo team, however you want to phrase it. Like, they're a part of that lineup, and they obviously know how to work together. So removing that kind of, this move assumes that the team has been practicing in scrims and they're building that synergy and they can make better calls together. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt on that. That basically, hey, we kind of figured out our synergy a little bit, and we're making better shot calls. So in terms of individual levels of play, it should be a better duo of Palafox and Jose Dioto versus NXI and Triple. So I thought at the end of the day that it was probably slightly better for us to make that move. It just feels really, really bad to be doing it on the final week. And I don't know. I think at the end of the day, I'm fine with it. I really am. Obviously, it didn't turn out okay, but I think with the idea of it, I'm okay.
Okay, interesting. Curly, I mean, give me your thoughts. Any rebuttals? Do you agree? How do you feel?
I mean, I agree for the most part. It's just a tough situation, if you're being honest, like, of just the timing of literally everything that happened. Because if we take the major event of the Licorice to GG Academy swap, all that, and we push it back to the first 03 week, and we do it then, and then we take the same time to make the switch we did again, that would mean the last 2 weeks, we'd be running with the roster we had this weekend. And I think that would have been perfect. Because it would have done, like, it would have given us the fresh feel for both squads. It would have given Jose and Palafox the time to, like, stomp on some noobs in Academy. And just kind of rebuild their confidence, all that stuff. And then it would give us this weekend to learn the flaws of the team as they work and stomp the last 2 weeks. So really, I think if you shift the timeline back 2 weeks, everything would have been great. Sadly, that's not how it worked out. The last week was kind of just where we ended up having to do it. And I think it was the best possible call. I don't know if I would have confidently been able to say a 2-1 week. Granted, we didn't have that still, but with the way the Academy squad had been looking, I don't know how I would have felt coming into the week.
That's fair. I had a great point in my head just now. Knox, you look like you want to say something while I think about this point that I had.
I keep thinking about it. I mean, at the end of the day, I really just don't think Palafox was given the tools he needed to succeed with the way he plays, right? Just
Right.
2 out of the 3 champions he was given this weekend were just, it clearly is not in his wheelhouse, at least on the professional stage, which sucks. And it's probably something that FlyQuest is really going to need to evaluate and look into in the offseason. But I kind of want to point out the drafting a little bit, which is such a cop-out answer for a lot of things, but I really do think clearly something needed to change in the draft. We've had a lot of draft issues throughout the year. Not like super egregious stuff a lot of the times, but a lot of just kind of like, come on, guys, you know? So I keep thinking on it. Like the roster moves I'm okay with, but clearly if we're going to make those roster moves, you got to be hitting the strong points of what those roster moves are for.
Yeah, I remembered my point, which was that even with the roster moves, the same fundamental issue remained. Our early games were atrocious. The Golden Guardians game, by 15 minutes, we were down 6K gold. The CLG game, we were down at 15. I forget how the Immortals one went, but it's not like we got super far ahead in that one either. Golden Guardians, I remember that game was just, they had, I think by 20 minutes, they had at least like 5, by 18. I remember this stat very clearly because I saw it. I was like, I got to make sure to remember this for the show tonight. At 18 minutes, they had 5 or 6 turrets and we had 1. And I was just like, wow, how are we getting run around the map? By Golden Guardians right now. It was, TMB. I love reading TMB takes. Drafting the Kench was straight inting. And then he also spelled. I think this was supposed to be a typo, but he spelled drafting like DRAFINT, so like draft int. Yeah, I think it was a bit of a draft int. Like, look, I don't want to trash anyone in particular, but it's just like the Tom Kench. Please don't pick that in Academy. Please, unless you're putting it mid lane, don't pick it.
I'll even put it top lane. I think it could be good top lane too.
Yes, it would be great top lane.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it would be excellent top lane.
So, yes. So for my part, just to summarize how I'm feeling, it's that I don't think the roster swap made a difference. I think we still had the same fundamental early game issues that put us so far behind. It's putting us in impossible situations to come back from. 20 minutes, down 6k gold, you are not going to win many games from that position.
Hey, Sandy, do you want to take a wild guess as to what place we are in terms of GD15 for the summer split?
I'm going to go with a solid 10th, nay, maybe like 15th. You know,
hey, this is only the LCS.
Well,
right?
You know, actually,
if you want to bring in the LEC,
much like Pobelter, you know, we're at least a top 10 team in terms of gold differential at 15.
Oh, no. We are in fact last place. Our average for the whole summer, negative 1,600.
Well, I remember
rounding up
when I was having to do some of the stats when I had to fill in for you for weekend forecast stats. And I was looking at early game rating. You know, early game rating is basically a 0 to 100 scale. It's pretty much like, what are your percentage odds of winning a game on average at 15 minutes? And, you know, 45 to 55 is like pretty decent. Obviously, 55 is pretty good. But most 8 teams in the league were in that 45 to 55 range. Then CLG was at like 36. Do you guys know what our EGR was as of like a week or two ago? I don't know what it is right now, but I doubt it's gotten any better.
Oh, I could tell you what it is right now.
Yeah.
35.
Oh, it went up because I thought it was like 26.
The Immortals game, early game, is what saved us there. That's why.
Yeah. So, okay, well, at the time, it was like 26 and 35. Look, that's not much better. That's basically saying every game you play, by 15 minutes, you have a 1 in 3 shot to win it. That's like, that is not good. And I don't know if this is an issue that can be solved by coaching, or if it needs to be solved by, you know, taking a hard look at the roster. And this is not, I don't think we're gonna make this what is the future of the LCS roster?
No. That's another show. That's later down the line.
That's gonna be a show much later down the line. But yeah, I think the fact of the matter is that early game killed us all year, and we have to find a way to address that for next year.
Do we have anything else that we want to hit on for the main team at all? Because I have a great transition point off of this topic.
Bring it on. Transition us away from the pain and towards something positive.
So guess who has the #1 early game rating and goal difference at 15 in the Academy League right now?
FlyQuest?
C9. And I mean FlyQuest. Yeah.
It's FlyQuest. We have the best early game rating in the league for Academy and the best goal difference at 15 in the league.
That's crazy.
That blows my mind. And it kind of goes to show the difference between LCS and Academy, right? Because, I mean, clearly we brought the Academy team up and their early game struggled against the actual LCS team, as well as their GD15, correct? So,
yeah.
It shows there is a bit of a gap there. It can overlap at times depending on what's happening and who they're playing, but for the most part, there is a bit of a gap between the Academy and LCS teams. Mm-hmm. So, but if anything, it should go to show that, at least in terms of Academy, we have some good prospects right now. They know how to play together, and we've been saying this for weeks and months now, right? Like, they look good as a squad, and clearly, at least at this term of level and division, they're one of the best.
Yeah.
I think that gives me better hopes for the next season. Because I was actually Nate ID, who I saw in chat earlier. I talked to him a lot about this during my stream earlier today, about my thoughts on the roster, potential changes, the academy team, and how I think there's like a lot, especially after we put the academy team in for a while. There's a decent amount of just side grading. So the roster, looking at it in the offseason, is going to be interesting because we've got real good academy players, and I wouldn't be surprised if Triple is in the LCS next year, whether it's with us or someone else.
Yeah. One thing I will say, and we won't go too much further down the next season path because it's very early. We've still got LCS playoffs to run through, obviously, and Academy, all that good stuff. But I will say is when we look at the Academy and we look at the prospects that we have right now, I think we need to take a very hard look at who on the team is a player that we want to stick with for the long term and continue to develop. And we'll have to figure that out. And you know what? Academy playoffs and proving grounds will be the perfect way for us to figure that out. As Knox mentioned, the Academy team looking good. No matter what iteration, they have achieved first place in the Academy regular season and have the number 1 seed. So they're actually on a. They've got the bye to start with, and then in terms of,
Is it dynamic seating or?
Yeah,
it is. So we get to pick who we want to play.
Yeah, which is
nice,
pretty good. Semifinals are not till next week, so this week it's 100 Thieves Academy versus Immortals Academy, and then you've got C9 Academy and EG Academy. Both those series should be actually really, really good. And the nice thing is that since we have the bye, that means guaranteed top 4. So top 4 seeding for proving grounds guaranteed, which is pretty nice. That's a good
very
way.
advantageous.
It's very advantageous because some of those amateur teams are legitimate threats, and I'd rather face the number 13 seed than, say, the number 10 seed or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start by maybe theory crafting. We don't know for sure. Yeah, who is actually going to be playing FlyQuest Academy? Are they going to send Tomo Diamond back down, or will it be Johnson Dreams? I mean, we can guarantee Philip, NXI, and Triple. I think that's pretty locked in. But we're not. I don't know if it's really been said who will be playing bot lane for us. Nox, do you have any insights there? Do you think they'll stick with what they've been doing or go otherwise?
I think Dreams is for sure gonna continue playing. And then I really don't know between Tomo and Johnson. I think it'd be kind of crappy at this point to take Johnson out and put Tomo back in. I mean, don't get me wrong, Tomo's a great prospect and whatnot, but it would feel like we're really shafting Johnson. And Johnson's been playing okay down in Academy. In fact, he's been one of the upper echelons of AD carry in the Academy tier, right? So,
Right.
I don't know. It would feel very, very crappy to suddenly be like, sorry, Johnson, we're pulling you after you played the back half of the split. And we're giving Tomo more time, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, you could absolutely do. Tomo's a newer prospect, right? And if you want to really, truly try and develop him, maybe that's what you do. But it would actually be a bit of a dick move to Johnson. And I'd feel really bad about it if they pulled him out now, especially after having played the last 3 weeks with Dreams in Academy. So personally, I'd like to see Johnson. I know that sucks for Tomo because he's still developing. He's younger than Johnson, and he has a lot of potential. But at least in terms of fairness, especially with Academy, because, I mean, Johnson still has room to grow, too. I think no matter who plays, it's going to be beneficial. I just hope it's Johnson.
Yeah, Curly, any preference for you personally between the two?
Well, I don't know. I feel like there's no need to change the academy roster. I think they're fine as they are. They've been performing good enough to finish the season strong, even with the changes. So I think whoever we send in there, we're gonna win it all anyway. It's just how much do you want to stop on the noobs? Like, I guess we could throw Diamond in if we want to see GG noobs, but like that's all. Like, I don't think there's any changes that we need to make. I think we can just go with the roster we have and just stomp on everyone anyway, and then make a lot of money from them buying all of our players like they did last year.
Yeah, maybe
But this time with Academy, not the LCS.
yeah, maybe we can be the ones flipping players to LCS and making a bit of cash on the side.
We've already got some cash in our pockets from the Bucks, I think. But
Right,
who
right,
knows?
right.
Oh my God! Please blank check, baby, bring it
Yeah,
in.
please.
Come on.
Milwaukee Bucks blank check, fly prey in the chats.
Fly Chavi, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, man, that would be
That'd be sick, right?
get him off Hanwha Life Esports. Please get that man an actual team. All right, so let's start. Let's discuss Academy playoffs real quick and talk about what expectations should be. So obviously they don't play till next week, so we won't know their opponent until this weekend is over. But let's talk expectations. So they could play any team. I guess they would probably play one of C9, EG, or IMT. I doubt they would go against 100 Thieves Academy if they get to pick.
Don't want to play C9. We do not want to play C9.
Okay, so
we
hopefully
have a horrible record against them.
All right, well, maybe 100 Thieves Academy then. But I mean, it's gonna either way. If
Sandy's just trying to save himself from all the times he's flamed 100 Talk, he doesn't want the Academy team to stomp them.
Well, look, 100 Talk never talks about their Academy team ever. So it's literally a meme that they have going on with Kelsey.
They did it once.
They did it once, and they might talk about it. They might talk about it again tonight because the Academy team actually played in LCS this weekend. That's a whole can of worms. So, barring any upsets, so I mean, I think Knox, would you agree with me that the expected winners of these Academy matchups would be 100 Academy and C9 Academy?
100 Academy, absolutely yes. Immortals Academy is not great. EG Academy, they've been slumping hard towards the end, but if for
They're still
whatever,
a good team.
They're still a good team, and I would not be surprised to see them overtake Cloud9 Academy. But I would absolutely put Cloud9 as the favorite in this matchup. But if EG progresses, I would not be shocked.
And in a best of 5 scenario, I mean, we've only seen these teams play best of 2s, right? And Jojo Pune is so good. Contracts, I believe, is playing, not Tomio. Yeah, I mean, I could see this going 3-2 easily. So, but let's say, just for the sake of argument, it's 100 Thieves Academy versus C9 Academy. Those are tough matchups for FlyQuest. Is it realistic to see us making it to Academy Finals? Worlds Finals.
Yes.
Yep.
So this should be the expectation then.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
no,
We should absolutely be
nothing but
Okay. Should we
Like-
should we be placing the expectation of a number 1 finish?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
No cap.
All right.
There's nothing. We will be nothing but first place in these playoffs.
Okay. I think this is
Will it be clean?
probably
Hopefully.
not. It's Academy. Yeah, I mean, show me, clean Academy,
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. If Cloud9 Academy is the one that makes it through, because there's no world where we play Cloud9 Academy in semifinals. Like, I don't see a world where we pick them. So if Cloud9 Academy ends up playing TLA and beating TLA, I can see a world where we take second. But outside of that, we are taking first, like, no matter what. Even then, there's a solid chance that we're going to take first, even if Cloud9 Academy plays. That's just our toughest matchup.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, the other nice thing is that, with the bye week, that's an extra week for this roster iteration to get, some synergy, bring Philip back up. And yeah, SMG Foodar in the chat. This is a good point. This is an academy team that has torched everyone this split. Philip has had some sizable growth in his few weeks with the team. Anything under going to academy finals would be a failure, I'd say. I agree. I fully agree.
I fully agree too.
It has to be finals at this point. And I'm okay with getting second at finals, but you have to win semis and make it to finals here.
Agreed. Yep.
And then looking ahead, I mean, we can even look ahead a little bit towards proving grounds, right?
Grounds?
So,
Yeah, where
so
we're
we
gonna
know
lose to No Org in the finals.
So we've got a guaranteed top 4 seeding, which considering that, I feel like we should also say should aim for top 4 at proving grounds. I mean, I remember doing the interview with Loyoda. And he was basically saying that, the expectation, the goal should be to win it all, to get top 2 at least, to win. I mean, this is clearly a team that's made a statement that they are the team to beat in Academy right now.
Yeah, I would agree. I think this team is honestly it's weird, right? So let me make an analogy real quick. We as Americans, right, have never experienced this feeling before. But you know how when Worlds comes around and everyone's making their power rankings, it's like, oh, I wonder who the tournament favorite is, right? It's probably someone from Korea, probably someone from China, right?
Maybe an EU team for a little spice.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of G2 thrown in occasionally, or 2018 Fnatic. It's like,
Mhm.
oh, yeah, I could see it. And so everyone starts getting hyped a little bit. Us North American fans, we've never experienced this before. It's like, no. We quarterfinals? Oh my God, the dream, right? That'd be amazing.
Well, yeah. I mean, we got C9 in semis a few years ago, but yes.
But even then, that blew our expectations. They made quarterfinals. We're like, cool. And then they made semis, and that was like mind blowing.
After the last 2 years of Worlds, all we really want from any NA team is to make it out of groups. Just do that. That's all we care about.
So exactly. So let me bring this back though. So that feeling for Worlds, right?
Yeah.
Now let me apply that to this tournament. But here's the thing with this tournament: it's all North American teams. And here's the other thing with it: FlyQuest is an actual favorite to win this tournament. I've never experienced this feeling of excited and hypeness before for a team before. Like there is a legitimate chance that this team can make it to finals and win the whole damn tournament. Which it's like I've never had a team that I've cheered for before that's like, damn, yeah, they could truly win it all. Like I've had teams that are like, yeah, I like them, and they made it to finals. Like, oh, that's cool, but like I am passionate about this FlyQuest team, right? I love this org, and so this is like one of the very first times in my life I've had a sports team of any sort where it's like I love this org, and there's a solid chance that they're making finals. Solid chance, and there's a solid chance that they can win the whole thing. So it's a weird feeling, but like everyone as fans should be excited for this academy team because they can win this whole tournament.
Sorry for laughing, but I really have to point out SMG Food Arts line.
I read that too.
I just read it.
Knox, where you live, I don't doubt that. Now, Knox, would you please tell the good people the general vicinity of where you live?
So,
don't dox yourself. Don't dox yourself.
Yeah. In reference to NFL teams, I live near Dallas. And here's the other thing. I was born in 1996. I never experienced any of the greatness of that team.
Oh, no.
America's team, ladies and gentlemen, the Dallas Cowboys. They are indeed a football team. I'm trying to think. You also have the Mavericks and the Stars. Weren't the Stars good?
Stars were in the NHL Stanley Cup Finals last year.
Yeah. Okay. Dallas Stars, pretty good.
Then Mavericks are looking pretty good with Luke. I can't say his name. Yeah, he's looking pretty good.
Yeah, Mavs could be something. You've got FC Dallas.
But this is esports.
I'm just trying to.
This is
we got complexity. Dang it! They're winning the World of Warcraft MMO raid races or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Actually, no, that's not even true. They got second this past time around. I think they lost a method. Anyway, we're getting off track.
I signed up to produce an LCS fan cast, and now we're talking about real sports? What the hell?
Hey, League of Legends is a real sport, you know? It's just not a traditional sport.
That's fair.
All right, so yeah, there's a lot to be excited here, and I think FlyQuest fans should be excited about this Academy team. They should be tuning in to Academy playoffs. Especially this week, scout out a little bit our potential opponents. And root for the team in Academy playoffs and in Proving Grounds. The Academy coaches have been doing a fantastic job. Brendan, Loyola, Fantix, really, really well done. Like, big hats off to them for the first place. Like, I can't understate this enough. First place in Academy regular season. That's so good. They played so many games this season. I mean, they played ultimately 36 games, 18 series. They won 10 of them. They tied 6. They only got 2-0'd twice all season.
One of which was by Cloud9, and then hold on, I'm trying to see who the other one was.
Yeah, now I got to find the other one. Cloud9 and Team Liquid Academy. So, the two other playoff teams, the number 2 and the number 4 regular season teams were the only ones they got 2-0'd by. So, there's a lot to be excited here about. Rice Box is correct. TLA this past week was the one. And I'm going to kind of chalk that one a little bit, only because, things have been in flux with who's playing in what roster. I feel like with a few weeks of a settled, decided roster on tap, whoever is playing in Academy will be fine. TLA cheated by bringing in 2 top 5 LCS players. Look, details.
Yes, because we didn't put we weren't top 5, so I guess it wasn't.
Well, yeah.
Anyway.
Not quite.
Uh,
Next topics. Was there anything you guys wanted to bring up?
Well, to bring back down from the hype, something I wanted to talk about is where I think some money should go for FlyQuest in the offseason. And I know we said we're not talking rosters, so we're not going to talk rosters. What we are going to talk about, though, is support staff. And how I think we really need to develop a support team for both of our rosters. Because I don't know what the support staff looks like. I don't know how expansive it is. I don't know how much it is. But you look at some of these top 5 teams or consistently top 4 teams, they have pretty sizable support teams. And that, just provides so much for the players. They have psychologists. They have multiple analysts. So Loyola could have a twin. They just have a lot that goes into making sure the players aren't just performing well in game, but all right outside of the game so that they can perform better in the game. And so that's something I would really like to see. And I don't know how that starts with, but that's yeah. I also see in chat people saying sign a Valorant team. As someone who's recently joined the hype, I would 100% agree.
I've been pushing for a Fly Valo team for months now, probably since the game came out, actually. And there are buttloads of free agents just sitting out there, ready to make a solid team.
There was a whole team that was free agency a little while back. We were talking about it in the Discord a little bit.
Yeah, Noble, I think. All went free agent. That's a whole another off-season discussion to have, which is things that FlyQuest could be doing with their organization. Trying to think other thoughts, other topics. We could move on to. I think we had some flight check pick'ems results to talk about, and then maybe we could look at LCS playoffs a little bit as well.
Yep.
Any preference on which one we do first?
Let's knock out the pick'ems.
All right, cool.
Knock out the pick'ems? All
Knock
right.
out the pick'ems.
Well, so I know nothing about the specific numbers for us. But in case you care about our three, like the three of us, Nox War obviously ran away with it 2 weeks ago. There was no way we were going to catch up to him.
It's true. Nox, do you have our particular final stats? You might have those, right?
Yeah,
Or for
I
you-
don't have them in a graphic.
Yeah.
For like you and Curly.
Mm-hmm.
If you give me like 2 minutes, I can get yours.
Okay, we will stall for time.
Filibuster.
We will filibuster. So Curly,
I mean, this was a wild weekend. Here's the thing: I was watching.
I went
the,
like 0-3 to start off the week. It was not good.
I went 3-2. Like, here's the thing: I got so many pick'ems that like when I made them, I was like, "Ooh, this is such a stretch," but I think it's gonna make them. But then the ones I'm like, "Yeah, no, of course I didn't get." And it's crazy because I want to say I think I went 8-7 for the weekend, and of the pick'ems like that I got, all of them I think were the ones that I did a double take and I looked up stats. And another thing is actually when I was looking up my stats, there was a small part of me that almost no, it wasn't as I was looking up stats. It's as I was doing weekend forecast and I was looking at our Oracle's Elixir where I almost had us beating Immortals, where I was like, damn, I might change my pick'ems, but I don't. I never change my pick'ems. I always go with what I go with the first time. That's the gamble I like to take. But I was just watching the spreadsheet over the weekend. Everything was insane. Everything was insane. People were full of red, full of green. Oh my gosh. And then Nox War. You said you went. What'd you get yesterday?
I went 0-5 yesterday on the final day, which I like. My picks, I don't even think I'm running my picks down. I don't know what the hell happened. So, looking at my final day 3 picks, let me see. I picked TSM to win versus Dignitas, which was a fun match. I picked Immortals versus Golden Guardians, which may have been a little bit of hope because if Immortals won, Fly goes through, right? But I actually legitimately think Immortals was a decent team leading up to this week, so I thought they would be okay to beat Golden Guardians. I picked Team Liquid to beat Cloud9, which I don't think is that big of an upset. Granted, I know they have a terrible record against the top 4 teams, but I thought with Santorin back, they'd look okay. And then I picked 100 Thieves to beat Evil Geniuses because I thought they were better than EG. And then I picked FlyQuest to win because it's Counter Logic Gaming. God.
because it's counter fraud gaming.
Yeah, I don't know. I went 0-5, and I don't think I ran down any of my picks. It didn't turn out my way.
Weird day. It didn't turn out your way. But have we given you enough time?
Yes. So, Curly, you and I tied at 8-7. Unfortunately, Sandy, you finished at 6-9 for the week.
Not nice.
And so, do you want your final records?
Yes. Let's do it.
Okay, Curly. Unfortunately, amongst the flight check crew, you finished 3rd at 70 wins and 65 losses.
Hey, that's positive. That's a positive win-loss.
Sandy, you finished 2nd with 71 wins and 64 losses.
That is still a positive win-loss ratio. Please.
And then there's me, who finished 1st. I had 81 wins and 54 losses.
My God, this madman,
my gosh,
this absolute monster of a Nostradamus. I think we can officially crown Nox as this year's prophet on Flight Check. Prophet Nox shall he be known until next year, when maybe another challenger will come to take the crown. Prophet Nox, how does it feel to be smarter about League of Legends than both me and Curly?
It feels good because then I feel like my position on this podcast would probably not be warranted. So No, I'm happy to take first though. But honestly, it was a good run, guys. I think next year it'll be a little bit better for y'all. I really do get the feeling that it'll be a little
Next
bit
year,
better.
I'm taking it. I'm taking
That's
it
fair.
all.
That's fair. I will say
I'm telling you right now.
Road Roller in the chat saying Knox is so good at pick'ems that his girlfriend did even better.
So actually,
we've got
tied.
a
We tied.
Oh!
I'll have you know, we both finished at 81 wins, 54 losses, and I can hear her actually yelling at me right now.
Oh, that's rough.
Dang.
Oh man.
But here's the thing. At the end of the day, we don't matter in the grand scheme of things because none of us are first place.
None of us are first place. We will, and I believe Knox will be making the announcement in the FlyQuest Discord, and it'll probably also go out on the FlyQuest Twitter at some point in the near future, who the actual winner of Pick'ems is.
In a more formal way, I do, however, have a nice little slide there.
Oh.
Show off. So I'm going to present it. But can I get a drum roll, please? That is not a drum roll.
I mean,
There's
what do you
so
want me to do?
much silence
Tap my
going.
mic?
I want you to
tap the
clap.
mic. That's gonna.
Come on, roll your tongues. And
Ba-ba-da-ba.
in first place for the Summer FlyQuest LCS Pick'ems, Nico! Look at that beautiful, beautiful graphic right there.
Gorgeous.
Isn't it great?
Incredible. Look at all those
Featuring
stickers.
the pristine stickers and emotes from the FlyQuest server, created by professional artists and fans, everyone.
I personally appreciate the fly prey at the bottom there. That's fantastic.
The fly prey is just so good. It's like one of the best.
It's
emotes.
excellent.
Yeah, that's an excellent emote right there.
I am also a huge fan of Tim Sun, created by a person who is now known as FlyQuest.
Yeah, that's also pretty good.
It's just excellent. Excellent. So yeah, that's that.
Wonderful.
Congrats, Nico.
Congrats, Nico. All right,
And I look forward to your more formal announcement later.
Let's wrap up by discussing. We'll go back to LCS just for a hot minute. There are 4. I'm sorry, not 4. There are 2 matchups this weekend. Only 2, folks. Evil Geniuses versus Dignitas and Cloud9 versus Team Liquid. EG Dig on Saturday, C9TL on Sunday. Losers drop down to face either Immortals or Golden Guardians in losers bracket. Winner of C9TL plays TSM. Winner of EG Dig plays 100 Thieves. And don't forget that the winners of those matches automatically go to Worlds. So these are important games. So quick thoughts, Curly, C9TL and EG Dig. Who's taking those series? And by what score?
So for EG versus Dignitas, I am going to put this in favor of Evil Geniuses.
Oh,
3-1.
Oh, I was going to say anything less than a 3-0 is a failure. In my opinion.
It's not going to be a 3-0 because, and the reason I'm giving Dignitas respect, because in these last 4 weeks, they got back to them old, very average selves.
Yeah, okay. All right, that's fair.
And so their very average selves could catch a lacking EG in a best of 5 one time.
All right.
So EG 3-1.
All right, I'm going EG 3-0. Knox, thoughts on that one?
I think there's a higher percentage chance of EG going 3-0 against this Dig squad. Although I do have to lend credit to Curly, though, because he does make a good point that this Dig squad has looked better. And also there's a I shouldn't say strong, there's a decent chance that EG does do a little burger flip here and there, like kind of like Jizuke tends to do. So I could totally see the 3-1, but I'm going to officially say EG 3-0.
There it is. And then the other one, Cloud9 Team Liquid. Knox, we'll go to you first. Thoughts on this matchup? I mean, this is a big one in my opinion.
It is a big one. And, with Santorin playing, this could really go in either way. I mean, I literally predicted TL to beat Cloud9 this past weekend, right? Um, but at the same time, this Team Liquid squad has repeatedly shown, like, I think someone was tweeting on Twitter earlier. I think it may have been Azale. Azale was tweeting out showing that TL's like 2-8 against the top 4 teams or whatever.
They are not good against the top 4 teams.
And so, for me, that just should scream that Cloud9's the favorite to win this match, right? But also, at the same time, I think if you give Santorin a little more time to get things figured out, I think TL could figure this out, and I'm not one to ever knock TL out of contention. So,
and I will say, a lot of those losses from this season in particular came with Santorin out, and Armeo in, and Jenkins in. So, and it's the top jungle is completely different from what we were seeing most of this season from TL. So, yeah. Do you have a series score prediction there?
I'm going to go 3-2. I think Cloud. Okay. I think it's going to be a close 5-game series. I think TL is going to make him work for it. I do, however, think that Cloud9 is going to edge it out, though.
Fair. Curly, give me your TLC9 predict.
Also, Jensen sucks.
Ooh.
Damn. Oh, wow. Right in that
flame. I can say it now that FlyQuest is out. He's not playing us anymore, so I don't care. I'm going to full on flame him. I don't think he's a good mid laner.
Watch us sign Jensen next year, and you have to root.
Wow, that'll be awkward. But wow, TLC9 repeat of mid-season showdown finals at the beginning of the playoffs for the summer season. It's gonna be pretty much the same thing, except Liquid's coming out on top this time, boys. It's going to be a 5-game. We're going to hear Silver Scrapes. It's going to be something 5-head in the 5th match from TL this time to throw C9 off the rhythm.
Fair enough.
That's what I'm saying.
Fair enough.
That being said, Jensen is overhyped, and I cannot wait to watch Santorin carry him.
And then I will go... I'm going to go C9 3-2 as well. That's going to be my call. So those will be fantastic matches to watch. Be sure to tune into those. One final discussion point, and I'm going to take it in 2 paths because we should make a FlyQuest relation out of this one. MVP. This has been a bit of a hot topic today on some of the Twitter channels and the Reddits. MVP voted on and decided before playoffs wrap up. So this is a regular season only award. I would like to potentially award a Flight Check FlyQuest MVP award, so the most valuable player on FlyQuest. From the show, if possible. Maybe if we can reach a consensus. I don't know if we can do that tonight. But then I would also like to get some discussion on LCS MVP, if there are any thoughts in that regard. Let's start with a FlyQuest MVP. Any quick thoughts there? I know, rough season, but we've still got to pick, who was our best player all year? Who kept us alive?
Well, if you're going off of so obviously there's different definitions for MVP, right? And the literal meaning of it is most valuable player. So depending on how you guys take it, whether that being the most valuable player or the best performing player, because if we're going off of best performing player, at least in consideration of spring, minus the little slump Jose was having at the beginning, I would have to give it to Jose. He was probably the best performing player. If we're going for most valuable player, I'm probably going to lean towards Diamond because from what I've seen on social media and what I've seen in terms of team comms and what I've seen towards gameplay-wise, he's shown improvement over the course of the time in the academy when he went back down. He's had a positive mental attitude the whole time. He's had very, very clear and distinct interviews showing like he is a very, very strong shot caller when he has assistance with Kumo. I think, in my opinion, for this FlyQuest squad, he's the most valuable player. I do, however, think that Jose was the best performing player of the year.
Okay, fair enough. Curly, thoughts on
Wow.
FlyQuest MVP?
I had just come to a conclusion, and then Noxor opened his mouth, and now I'm not as sure anymore.
All shaky now.
I mean, because here's the thing: is like my original answer. Actually, no, I'm gonna stick with it. I'm
By all
gonna say
means.
Kumo.
Okay.
Kumo to me is the most valuable player on FlyQuest, because he stepped up so much this season. He popped off so much in Academy, especially during the summer. I would go as far to say he might have put the team on his back sometimes. And then he came into LCS and did his damnedest. And I think, despite everything, he performed really well. I mean, from what I saw these last few weeks where we weren't winning as much, it was part of it was just because he was being bullied because the enemy team had to bully him. So Kumo is just such a awesome player and so good for FlyQuest. He's my MVP.
Respectable answer, honestly. Kumo was probably my second consideration.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I like it. I guess I have to give an opinion now, don't I? Let's go with. Let me think.
I mean, you could pull the host role and be like, I'm just host here. I don't need to give an opinion if you
Yes,
really
I'm
want to
just
cop out.
the uneducated host. No, let's say I'm actually going to give it to. Oh boy. All right, I'm going to cop out from MVP. I'm not going to award an MVP. You know what I am going to award? Most improved player. And I'm going to award most
Ooh.
improved player to Diamond. Based on what we saw from spring to the end of summer, I feel like Diamond was the most improved
Hands down, no cap.
player. So
Yep.
that is going to be my cop out. Not awarding an MVP, but will award a most improved player, and it's Diamond for sure. Let's hit LCS MVP really fast if we want to. Think we've got the time. Maybe 5 minutes on that. A lot of discussions here. I saw a lot of Spica in the chats for MVP. Do we agree? Spica MVP, is he the guy?
I mean, that's what I clicked on the poll on Twitter today, so.
Can't argue them
Yes.
facts.
Yeah, can't argue with that. Knox, do you have any dissent there, or are you also feeling Spica?
I think I'm also feeling Spica. I think he's just off of my definition of who's the most valuable player, because there's even been times where Spica hasn't been the best performing player, but he's just been the most valuable player for TSM, straight up, and TSM got first. I think the results speak for themselves. I'm going to have to lean Spica.
Fair enough. I'm gonna go with man, SMG Food are really popping off in the chat tonight. MVP is the fans having to watch some of these LCS games. So yeah, fully
True.
agree. MVP is all of us watching Counter Logic Gaming this year. So we're gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with my award, my special award, is going to be player that I have the most empathy for. Award is Broxa. Man,
Yes.
you can tell that guy, such a competitor. Really wants to win, really wants to do well. Taking the year very hard. I'm sure he's got a lot to think about and a lot to decide on what he's doing next. And I really wish him all the best. He's a clearly positive star in the league. And whatever he does next, his time in LCS has certainly been memorable for good or for bad. Hey, I mean, he was the one who we first saw Jungle Morgana from before it got popular at MSI. So, well, yeah, there's a lot to discuss in terms of MVP, and I'm sure we'll be able to talk about it more as the discussion continues over the next few weeks.
I think next week what we should do is we should make our first All-Pro team, second All-Pro team, and third All-Pro team, and then show them on stream.
I agree. I think that would be a fantastic thing to discuss while we wait for FlyQuest Academy to play some games, because
well, I mean, they play on Thursday.
Next week. But we'll only be able to talk about their like a preview. We won't be able to discuss the actual games. If that's it, I'm gonna wrap up the show. You guys got anything else you want to talk about?
Not discussion points. I just conclusion stuff.
Oh, yeah, no, bring it.
I was just gonna say, straight up, it was a crappy end of the year. Oof. It is what it is, though. Hopefully the Academy boys can bring some pride and joy back to the FlyQuest org a little bit, and we can really embrace around that a little bit. And hopefully we can go into the off season with our heads held high around a potential positive prospects of some of our Academy staff moving on up, and we'll take it from there. So I know it feels kind of crappy right now, but honestly, I've been saying it all damn year. Go watch these Academy boys, because they're going to tear it up.
Yeah.
It's
going to be good.
To add some consolation for the LCS team, I am sad that we ended the way we did. But coming into this year back in January, I didn't know what to expect from this team. It was a fully new team. I knew we were going to have so many challenges figuring out how the players fit together, how the coaches fit together, what we need to do. And sadly, we were facing the same issues in this final week as we were at the beginning of the summer. And it just shows that there's a lot of work that we're going to have to do in the off season. But I firmly believe with the energy that FlyQuest imbues, with the persona that they present themselves, with the atmosphere I like to believe that they create, that over this off season, the team that we maintain and produce for LCS for next year will come back, and they will be so much stronger than anyone has expected, especially with our performance this year. And I, 1 year in advance, am saying this.
Oh.
We will be at Worlds 22.
Clip
we
it.
will be producing a good enough team to be at Worlds 22.
Somebody clip it.
Because
Clip it now. Clip it now.
We will never give up on showcasing greatness.
Fair. Well, the team never gives up on showcasing greatness. And neither does the Flight Check podcast, which you, if you are tuning in at the very end of the show tonight, we do this every Monday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can follow the show at twitch.tv/FlightCheckCrew. Hit us with the follow button here. Join our Discord. Follow us on Twitter at FlightCheckCrew. Follow all our personal socials as we head into the off season. Curly will continue streaming. Curly_QQ_. You can follow Nox's journeys alongside the discovering what new laptops are like, and his takes on the Academy at NOXWARR. And you can read all my tweets bemoaning how the Nationals sold all their good players and getting too hyped over their prospects. And also, it's Patriots training camp right now, so I'm getting super excited for that as well. So you can see all my traditional sports tweets at SantosDB, as we continue on Thank you all so much for watching. If you are wanting to catch the beginning of the episode, this will go up on YouTube. You can watch the VOD. Isn't that amazing? Super cool. If you want to drive and listen to the show, you can do that too with our audio-only versions on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, the other ones that no one else uses, I don't think. I mean, but they're there anyway. If you're like the 10 people that use these other platforms, it's available for you. For now, I want to say thank you so much for watching. This has been Flight Check Season 1, Episode 20. FlyQuest in Memoriam. Fellas, any final shout-outs before we close things out?
Shout out to Drek, the most wonderful community manager in the world, for inspiring us to really take this seriously and to provide us the connection to my other shout out, 100 Talks. Without them and without us, we wouldn't have Flight Check.
It's true.
They were the catalysts that really got us on our feet. And so I would like to thank them.
Absolutely. Knox, any final words for tonight?
Like I said earlier, rough season. Hopefully the guys can get some well-deserved rest, and hopefully the offseason has great prospects for them, whether it be on FlyQuest or on other teams. I don't. Well, I mean, I'm not even saying that to be spicy, because I legitimately like all these players. I think they do deserve the best, but I mean, at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if they're not on the team next year. So no matter what happens, I wish them the best. If they're here, if they're not, I think they'll do well no matter where they go. I think a lot of it's just going to continue to take more development time. And at the end of the day, I'm excited to see what happens. So, rough year. Looking forward to the next, though.
Absolutely.
So who you shouting out, though?
Oh, I guess I haven't shouted out. You know what? Big shout out to Loyola for interviewing with us. I don't think I really talked about it. Shout out to Sandy for doing an awesome interview on that. Shout out to the 100 Talk Pod guys for, as always, giving us great banter to talk around with, even if we don't get to banter back that much. And then, again, shout out to just both of you guys for being awesome podcast hosts, and I can't wait to continue doing this in the future.
Thanks, bud. Same here. Quick shout outs to 100 Talk Pod. Looking forward to you guys actually discussing your academy team tonight. For one reason or another. That should be fun. Shout out to, man, you guys hit all the good ones already. Shout out to Drek. Love you. I hope you go to LCS finals so I get to see you. I hope LCS finals happen. Please wear your masks. Wear your masks and get your vaccines so that cases drop again and I can go to LCS finals. Because I've been looking forward to that for a long time. This has been Flight Check Season 1, Episode 20. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all stay safe out there, and I hope you have a great day. Adios.
Have a good one, guys.
Peace.